Enroll today for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Job Ready program. 9 weeks of soft skills, job readiness internship. Contact 351-6667 or 439-1339. Get ready with Job Ready.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Sir Charles Hayward Library, which is located adjacent to the Rand Memorial Hospital, has undergone a series of closures in the wake of Hurricane Dorian, in addition to the global pandemic. The library opened its doors late last year, and officials are hoping that as the number of COVID-19 cases continue to drop, the library can return to full operation soon. Ramiko Knowles has more.
A pillar of the community, the Sir Charles Hayward Library was established in the 1960s by a group of residents interested in establishing a public library. Today, there are approximately 50,000 books in the library's collection, of which 9,000 are paperbacks. Executive Director Janitha Rutherford explaining how the operation continues to function amid a global pandemic.
We haven't been able as a library to do what we have been doing for years, which is have a very active calendar with the schools, from field trips to book signings to having small groups of children come in for authors to present a new book, to having schools that don't have a library bringing classes in here for introduction to the library and just for research. And then we used to have annual large groups of students for distinguished lectures.
And despite having a steady flow of persons utilizing the facility, Rutherford notes that she misses interacting with students through the relationships they have fostered with various schools.
I look forward to the day when we can get back to some level of normalcy, because as a public library, one of the things we want to do is be an adjunct to the school's programs. And we are in the process now of bringing in several hundred books. It may end up being maybe about 2,000 that new books that are needed, series for the children's library, and the readers in the adult library, they want what they want. So the librarian knows that. And so that's where we are right now in the process of replenishing the library.
Now the book collection is in a continual state of growth as a result of donations and new monthly book purchases. In fact, Rutherford says earlier this year, they received funding that allowed them to enroll all students in the public primary school in West Grand Bahama.
Martintown, Holmes Rock, Lewis Yard, some in Bartlett Hill. Every student in the school got a membership card. It was paid for the year. And the librarian, God bless her, and the clerk got books, boxed them up, and every class of students, as you know, because you did that first interview. That's something we're hoping against hope we can start back up again.
Currently, 4 persons are employed at the library, and they are looking forward with great optimism.
I really look forward to the day when this library can become a vibrant spot again.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Members of the Falcons Boys Club can now lace up new sneakers thanks to a special donation from the Adventist Development Relief Agency. The donation is the latest in a series of goodwill gestures that has extended to sectors of the Grand Bahama community post-Dorian. Club Director Darren Roll welcoming the latest donation, and he says that ADRA has taken particular interest in helping the young men enrolled in the Falcons Club.
This past Thursday, this group presented over 50 tennis and new brand Nike and Adidas and Puma shirts to the young boys that are part of the Falcons Boys Club. And that association came about several months ago as we hosted our summer league from the month of April up to now on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30 to 7:30. The Falcons Boys Club hosts a junior league where young men come from all over the island of Grand Bahama to participate. And the young representative here from Grand Bahama found out what we were doing, and she contacted us and said to us that she would like to provide some sporting apparel for the young men.
Well, the Rand Memorial Hospital receiving a generous donation this week in memory of a former patient. Raymond and Lynn Dietz of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA, donated an oxygen concentrator to the Rand on Monday as a token of their appreciation for the care and excellent service provided by that facility to the late Olga Forbes, who passed away recently. The Dietzes, who are longtime recurring residents to Grand Bahama, described Ms. Forbes as a close family friend and said it was the least that they could do to show their appreciation to the staff and leadership of the Grand Bahama Health Services. Administrator Sharon Williams accepted the oxygen concentrator and expressed her profound thanks, stating that the instrument will be used for continuous treatment for the betterment of patients at the Rand Memorial Hospital. And this month, the month of October, is recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And during the month, many persons wear the color pink in support of the women who have fought the fight against the illness. Tonight, we talked to a women's physician who says breast cancer is not a death sentence, and she's encouraging women to pay close attention to their health. Jamila Mizik has this story.
It is one of the most common cancers worldwide and the leading cause of cancer deaths in Bahamian women. Breast cancer can affect women at any age. However, consultant gynecologist Dr. Shamanique Bodie-Williams notes that the most common age group affected are women 60 years and older.
As we get older, we do have an increased risk of breast cancer, but we also have early breast cancer disease, which is found in ladies that are under 45 as well.
Risk factors include obesity, alcohol consumption, poor diet, and genetic history. Dr. Bodie-Williams notes that Black women tend to get breast cancer at a younger age, and it is usually more aggressive.
Depending on where the bad cells start from, that will determine what type of cancer that a lady has. And more commonly for ladies, it will usually start in either the lobules or the ducts. And so the signs and symptoms of the breast cancer would be if you feel any lumps or bumps in the breasts that are new, if you see any changes in the area that's around the breast, which is the colored area, the areola, or in the nipple. So sometimes ladies may have discharges coming from the nipple, and it can have a blood color to it. It could be clear, sometimes it could be white. In addition, that you see any changes in the color of the skin around the breast, that also is an indication that you should definitely see and discuss with your healthcare provider.
She says self-examinations are also important.
Definitely your annual maintenance would be once a year, and so that you would see your provider and they would do the exam. But I encourage my ladies to become familiar with your breast once a month, because your breast will change throughout the month. And I feel like if you get more familiar with it, if there's something different, that you would then be more likely to bring it to the attention of a healthcare provider who may see you once a year. And then once you see your healthcare provider, they will make a recommendation about your screening depending on what they think your risk factors are. And that screening, they may recommend it to start at 40, or they may recommend it to start earlier depending on your risks, and they may recommend it to be every year or every other year.
Now, the risk for breast cancer is about 1 in 8 women. In the Bahamas, there is a higher incidence of cases that are genetically related.
As we increase the awareness, it's empowering more women, and so as we become more breast aware, that we're getting to know the symptoms, you're getting to know yourself, and you're getting to know what questions to ask and keep up with your maintenance, it is definitely helping. And then we are improving survival, and we're making strides. So our 5-year survival rate is over 90%, and I think it'll continue to improve as we're able to detect cases earlier, have more frank conversations about this topic, and we're able to take charge of our own health.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
And that's a look at stories making news. Here's a check on what is happening in sports with Ramiko Knowles.
This is ZNS Total Sports, your source for sports in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports activities slowly returning on the island of Abaco as scores of youngsters have signed up for the Coach Jimmy Green Memorial Basketball Camp, which began on October 18th for boys and girls ages 7 to 18. A former student of Tabernacle Baptist is the coach and instructor. It is a regular summer basketball camp held every year on the island of Abaco, but this year the camp is named in honor of Coach Jimmy Green, who is most known for his days with the Sandy Point Royals, a well-known basketball team throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Jimmy Green was, a phenomenal father, devoted community member, mentor, role model, especially in the sports arena. He focused on the younger generation. He saw a future in us all, and he tried to educate us and teach us that with basketball, you can open and unlock a lot of doors.
Camp instructor Denaro Green says after Hurricane Dorian, there were no sporting activities taking place on the island, which is why the youngsters are excited to be tipping off once again.
Those boys, their spirits are highest. A few of them left to go to Nassau and Freeport to attend high school, but now most of them are back home, and we try our best to keep them preoccupied, try to steer them in the right direction, because it's so easy for them to get sidetracked, especially when we're not paying attention to our youths in our communities.
As for the state of sports on the island, he says,
right now the state of basketball in Abaco or sports on a whole, is little to none. A lot of the facilities were damaged, parks are missing rims, pavements are uprooted, so there's definitely a much needed attention as far as trying to get those stuff repaired so that kids can return back to the various track events or sports and field events that they normally attend to.
The camp instructor notes that they are eager to swing into high gear, as Abaco is known for producing world-class talent.
We've always produced profound athletes, whether it's track and field, basketball, baseball. We really have it all here, and it just needs some attention.
In WNBA action now, the Connecticut Suns forward and Grand Bahamian Jonquel Jones earned her first All-WNBA First Team honor as the only unanimous selection. Grand Bahama female basketball star Jonquel Jones receiving her final award for the 2021 WNBA season. Jones, who won her first WNBA MVP honor this season, was named the All-WNBA First Team on all 49 ballots in voting by a national panel of sports writers and broadcasters. It was the first time Jones received first team honors. She was previously named to the second team twice. Jones averaged 19.4 points a game, 11.2 rebounds, 1.26 block shots, and 1.26 steals this year to help the Suns to their second most successful regular season in franchise history. They finished with the highest winning percentage in franchise history, the fewest losses in franchise history with a 26-6 record, and had a franchise record 14-game winning streak, the fourth longest in the league history. Great job, Jonquel, and that is your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, in partnership with the GB Resilience Center, presents The Unveil, a virtual Youth Month initiative tackling youth mental health issues. Friday, October 29th at 10 a.m. Let's talk about it and keep it real.